All right, so I pulled out some more Neville material, and I want to read a quote that talks about the power of your inner conversations, your inner speech, your inner dialogue, which basically means whatever you think dominantly in your mind throughout the day is what you keep manifesting. I say this in every fucking video, and yet people still comment and try to say that we don't have to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, good fucking luck. So stay tuned if you want to dive in deeper with this, because I'm about to lay some truth bombs on your ass. Hey everyone, it's Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am really excited to be here with you today. If you are new, welcome to my channel. I love you all. We're over 40,000 subscribers. This is fucking amazing. It just keeps getting better and better. And I want to really support you guys in really understanding what you're doing here, because, you know, somebody had said in one of my videos a couple weeks ago that, oh, you know, people keep saying we don't have to reprogram our mind. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck they're listening to, but please stop listening to anybody who's telling you when you're manifesting, that's not what you're doing. And I'm going to say that with a caveat here. When on my channel, I dominantly talk about big manifestations, right? Now we know there's no difference. The difference is your self-identity attached to that desire that you want and your perceptions and beliefs of why you can't have it or why it's going to be difficult for you to receive it, okay? So we're not talking about minuscule things like cups of coffees and I say this in hundreds and hundreds of videos. We're not talking about cups of coffee. We're not talking about blue fucking feathers, purple unicorns. We're not talking about simple shit that you have no investment in, that you have no self-identity attached to. So what we're talking about is manifesting, and especially a specific person where your natural assumption of who you are, which is your self-concept in relation to that person or love in general, basically sucks. Basically, you have manifested shitty relationship after shitty relationship and didn't understand why, because that is what happened to me. I didn't understand why, because nobody was, well, I wasn't aware of Neville way back when and didn't even, know anything about law of assumption. So I just kept listening to the dating coaches and, the law of attraction out there and, was buying into the beliefs that, oh, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, not understanding that my self-identity, which is your self-concept, sucked in love. And it stemmed for me personally from childhood, which 95% of people's limiting beliefs come from their childhood experiences, maybe higher. Because the first 7 years of your life, you have no analytical, logical mind to consciously say, oh, I'm not accepting that as reality. I'm not accepting that as the truth about me. And your brain is super impressionable for those 7 years, and you soak everything up, especially things that are on repeat in your reality, and then you form assumptions and opinions and beliefs without even fucking knowing. And then we manifest them into adulthood, and this is how we have patterns in our life, and some are great patterns and some are not so great. So we are reprogramming our mind when you want to change a belief system about you, a belief that stems from childhood that is not your truth, but you have falsely, unfortunately, believed that it is your truth. And so a lot of times it isn't simply just to think something once and then boom, it's out of your mind. If it were, great. Some beliefs are that simple to let go of. Some assumptions are that simple to let go of, but typically people have a self-identity attached to who they have been for fucking years and years and years. And even though they want something different, they haven't replaced their mind with the new thought pattern and emotional pattern, because thoughts create your emotions, of who they really are, who they're choosing to be. So this is what you're doing, because then it sinks into your subconscious mind through repetition. And we're talking about consciously creating, which means I'm awake and I'm aware of what I'm thinking in my brain. Okay, so Neville talks about, I'm going to read you these two small paragraphs because I have tons of pages from him, but it says, our inner conversations represent in various ways the world we live in. Our individual worlds are self-revelations of our own inner speech. We are told that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof. For by their words they shall be justified, and by their words they shall be condemned. We abandon ourselves to negative inner talking, yet expect to retain command of life. Our present mental conversations do not recede into the past as man believes. They advance into the future to confront us as wasted or invested words. So, this is really important. I actually love this because I think it's really important to hold yourself accountable and understand you're not affirming to change something outside of you or trying to control it. I think that's better because yes, ultimately we're changing this programming so we get favorable circumstances, we get favorable conditions, we have experiences in our life that actually are what we want, right? So Neville always talks about what is your aim? What is your goal? That is what living in the end is. What is the end result, the outcome I desire? And then do your inner speech, inner dialogue, inner conversations, inner thoughts throughout the day match that version of you who's in that experience where you already have what you want? And if you're thinking anything that doesn't match, if you were living this world and you had exactly what you wanted, then the answer is obvious, no. So then what do you need to do? Well, you need to consciously choose. Neville says, choose a phrase, and he says affirm it and affirm it and affirm it again until you become possessed by it, which meaning you embody it, you actually buy into this. So you can do that, or you can just, keep focusing on different affirmations that really support you being in the wish fulfilled version of you, being the version of you that you want to be now. So let me give you an analogy. Let's see if this helps some people. It may not, but hey, I try to do the best that I can, okay? So a lot of you are stuck in this trap thinking you're controlling shit, and you're not. At least outside of you. You're controlling your thoughts because that's the power we have. And by controlling those thoughts, you're choosing and selecting the desired outcome that you want to experience, knowing at some point, because I'm fucking powerful, limitless being, this will manifest into my reality, okay? So what's happening is, look at it like this, like when you know you want to plan a vacation and go on vacation, right? There's a version of you that's like, oh, I want to go, to Fiji or Bahamas or wherever, right? Aruba and Italy, whatever. And I'm excited about it. You're talking about it. You think about it. Now, sometimes you'll say, oh, but how am I going to afford that? How is it going to come to be? Who am I going to go with? With COVID, what's going to happen? This and that and blah, 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 blah. There's a whole story attached to it. So some people will think that way. Or some people will be like, oh, I'm super excited for this. This is so amazing. I'm going to book this. I don't care. I'll figure it out. This is what I want to do. But like when you're in the version of you that doesn't have what they want and you're booking this vacation, you know it's coming, but you're not there yet. So you're assuming it's going to happen. You're assuming because you're booking. Everybody's different of what makes them assume it's going to happen. Some people, the first thought they have of, oh, I want to go on vacation to this particular place, for them, that's enough. And then they follow through and they book the trip. Other people talk about wanting to go on vacation, but they know it's not true yet for them until they've booked and paid for the trip. Or some people, it's even a step further. They've already booked and paid for the trip, but they still haven't assumed that they're on, this vacation is done because they're not in the desired vacation spot. So until the plane lands and in the city that they chose to go to for a vacation, then for them it's not a done deal. So everybody's fucking different, right? So you want to look at, for you, how do you know it's a done deal? And then that should be the end for you, that, oh, I have what I wanted, it's already happened. So I don't know if you guys can hear that rain, so sorry if you do, but when it hits on the roof, it's kind of loud. But I want to remind you that I want you to maybe think of it like this and see if this helps you, that you're choosing this location, like Future, his song, Change Locations, like you're changing your location. You're changing your choice of what you're focusing on internally by changing your thoughts as if you're already living this life. And it, like I always say, you saw my other video about feeling delusional. That's why in the beginning it feels very delusional, because it's not your experience. And it hasn't been a dominant experience for you, most likely, where it's like, even though I want this, even though I know there's a possibility to have it, your brain keeps noticing your reality through your five senses versus the one you're creating in your mind, the one you're choosing and selecting and focusing on in your mind. So I just want you to start understanding what you're doing, that I'm not controlling out here. I'm controlling my thoughts as a conscious manifester to focus on a reality where I have what I want. And if in that reality, it requires me to undo a self-identity / self-concept that I have been accustomed to being for decades or years and years of my life, then I will be reprogramming my mind throughout the day and choosing the version of me that is thinking, assuming, feeling, and understanding that they already have what they want. So that's what you're doing. So you again, you're investing your thoughts in your future experience. All we have is the present moment right now. A lot of people take their brains back to the past and focus on the way that they thought yesterday, the way that they behaved yesterday, the way, that they felt yesterday. And that's why their life doesn't change. So you're going to interrupt those thoughts and you're going to choose the thoughts of the reality you desire as if you're already living that way. Because you think different from a broke mentality versus a rich mentality. You think different from a rejected mentality to a loved, chosen mentality. You think different from the ideal weight version of you versus being unhappy with your weight. You think and feel and are different from the version of you that is driving their fucking dream car versus the version that doesn't have a car at all. Like, there are different versions. Now, the level of investment into those thoughts and that future self-concept, or your self-concept in your reality right now, right, in your mind, is dependent on you. And everyone is different with how much self-identity has been attached and rooted into the old self-concept that says I can't get what I want. So your job is simply just to keep retraining your mind to focus on the version of you that has what they want. And you do it over and over again, like Neville says, until it possesses you, which means you've embodied it, which means you basically have fucking arrived and you're naturally thinking it on your own, and it's who you dominantly are. And that can be a process that is different for every human being. That also can require different people to need more investment in them, monitoring their thoughts even more. It may take a little bit longer than maybe somebody else. This is why you don't ever compare your shit to anyone else, ever. Because you don't know what their limiting beliefs have been. You don't know their whole experience of their life. You don't know how long they've been on this journey. You don't know how much investment they've put into their future self, into the future reality they desire, into undoing the old programming and old conditioning that says, I'm not good enough to have what I want. There's no way I can have what I want. I'm always rejected, never chosen. I'm broken, life is hard, and money doesn't come to me easily. Whatever the fucking story is. You don't know. So stop comparing and start focusing on you, because it's your personal life experience. It's not mine. It's not hers. It's not his. It's not them's. It's not anybody else. It's yours. So this is why you really need to understand what you're doing, help you understand what you're doing so you can keep reminding yourself why you're doing this, especially when you feel delusional, right? And remind yourself that I just got to change me. I just got to change who the fuck I am and move into that reality, because that is what I want to experience at some point. And because law of assumption is always at play, because I am a limitless fucking being and can manifest what I desire, I just need to keep my thoughts aligned with the end result of what I want. So your inner conversations will do or undo what it is that you desire. It's about you as a conscious creator paying attention throughout the day of where your mind is going and choosing the thoughts that align to the goal that you want to experience. And it's that simple, yet not so easy every day. But the more you stick it out, the easier it becomes. The more you stick it out, you will feel your own internal shifts. You will start to see your reality, or you shift into whatever. Everybody has a different way of, you're creating your reality, you're shifting into a fucking reality, you're quantum jumping, whatever. Just choose the terminology that works best for you, because honestly, it doesn't fucking matter as long as you understand what is the fucking process to consciously manifest what you want. So we're investing into our future based on our thoughts and the emotions that follow those thoughts, right? So the thoughts are the most important because they precede everything, okay? They create your emotions and they create your reality. So you want to keep moving your thinking into the version of you that has what they want. And then you just allow it. Why are you in a rush? If you're in a rush, you're not in the end. You're not in that reality. Everything's created internally and then you experience it externally. And that's really all I have to say. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.